Let's film my first ever Get Ready With Me while we talk about that transition from the 20s to the 30s. Now, I haven't made that transition yet, but I'm less than a year away from it. And here are the ways that I'm being intentional now so that when I step into 30, you'll hardly recognize me and it'll be in the best way possible. Let's get into it. So first things first, we tying them edges down. And the first thing that popped in my mind about the transition between 20s and 30s is the phrase, what's understood don't have to be explained. Let me explain. I spent a lot of my 20s telling people things about myself, about how I felt about them, about the situation that did not need to be explained. If I fundamentally understand it about myself and I'm at peace with it about myself, then you don't need to know the details, and that's okay. Also, if I feel a way about you and I understand how I feel about you, I don't necessarily always have to tell you. It don't always have to be explained. Truthfully, that's for everybody. Even your mama, even your closest friends, they don't need to know everything that you feel about them. Process what you want to let somebody know about yourself and about them always. Do it with intention, care, and caution. Next up, toes. I'm gonna hold your hand for the next one here. Your health is declining. Your metabolism slows down if you allow it. Your skin will start to wrinkle and show aging if you allow it. Your gut health is changing if you allow it. I'm putting asterisks next to each of these things because your health does not have to deteriorate, but that transition from the 20s to the 30s shows you a lot about what could be to come for your joints, for your gut, for your skin, for your weight. If you do not start prioritizing your health in intentional ways, we have to be more intentional than we were when we were 19. 29 looks different than 19. What are the ways that you're going to step up with intention and consistency to make sure that your 30s are the finest that you've ever looked? And the transition from your 20s to your 30s is the perfect time to realize that if you actually take time to spend money on those expensive groceries and those ridiculously priced Pilates classes, then you will be saving yourself money exponentially on medical bills when you're 50 and 60, because you won't need a hip replacement. You won't need 10 different types of meds just to stay alive. So go ahead and buy them expensive eggs, y'all. It's a trade-off. Are you willing to invest in your health now so that your medical bills aren't through the roof when you're 60? Or are we gonna just vibe out on Cheetos and doom scrolling? It's your choice. Step 3, makeup. Alrighty, number 3 has dragged me across the floor. It's actually, I'm still getting up, so let's tread lightly here. You're allowed to have friends that are in different chapters of their lives. Relationships ebb and flow. I have really set some unfair expectations for friends in the past, or held myself to unfair expectations when I outgrew a relationship. Sometimes you don't have to cut somebody off because they're going through a chapter where they're unavailable for you. Sometimes a friendship might go quiet for 2 to 3 years and then y'all pick back up and it's even more beautiful than when you left off. Sometimes friendships are for a season and a reason, and you should cut that thing off. You must use your intuition. Listen to what your body is telling you. Listen to what the people around you are telling you with their actions and their words, and then make decisions based on what's best for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, but it is important to remember that every relationship isn't forever, and every relationship is not going to look the same at every single chapter of your life or your friend's life. And please don't judge me with my makeup routine, y'all. I'm not a makeup artist and I only wear makeup for special occasions. So I have like some tools, but I'm gonna be using my fingers a lot, okay? Understanding this truth about friendship and relationships, even with like family, would have saved me so much heartbreak, so much disappointment. And I'll leave you with this. Expectations are just disappointment waiting to happen. How many expectations are you putting on your friends and the people around you that are unexpected and unrealistic? Your relationships are finna get so much healthier, I promise you, if you adopt this mindset. Number 4 is the perfect one to put after number 3. There's this book that I'm reading called Let Them by Mel Robbins. You might know her from her podcast. And she talks about the great divide, where after high school or college, when everybody was on the exact same track doing this exact same thing all the time, going to the next grade step by step, all graduating together, hitting the same milestones at the same time. And then there's the great divide, and we all go off into different places physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and relationally, financially, politically. You know, like there's so many different ways that we have this great divide that Mel Robbins talks about. And so I want you to remember, as we hit our 30s, that the great divide might seem even more divisive. And we oftentimes compare ourselves to other people because that's human nature. Comparison is the thief of joy. And know that as we progress through life, people's life tracks are going to change so drastically. What you imagined for yourself may not be where you are, and where other people are may seem miles away from where you are. You may feel behind. You may feel like you moved too fast and missed out on things. Just trust the process. Know that the great divide means that we're all on our own special, unique path, and that's a beautiful thing. For me, the transition from the 20s to the 30s is staying in your own lane unapologetically and not comparing what's going on your journey to other people's journey. It's time to drop that. We dropped that in our 20s. Wherever I am is the perfect place to be. Next up, clothes and accessories. Alrighty, we're nearing the end here. This next one is a tribute to my dear friend Brianna. She said this at a girls' game night last night that she hosted for us. She was talking about how you can't let your current circumstances be the determining factor of your joy and peace. And when I tell you, it was time to go to church after that. And that's what I leave you with for this transition from the 20s to the 30s. Happens. It's gonna continue to happen. Life wasn't designed to be perfect. What are you going to do with your peace, your joy, your choices around freedom and happiness? How are you going to navigate that regardless of what's going on in your life? What choices are you going to make sure that even if there is a fire every day of the week, Monday through Friday, I don't wish that on you, but even if there was, how are you going to find peace and joy? This actually goes back to your health is deteriorating. The choices we make around our peace and our joy determine our health. If your nervous system can't ever calm down, that's going to put you in the doctor's office for many things come 20 years from now, maybe even tomorrow. So how are you going to make intentional choices to have joy, peace, freedom, regardless of what's going on in your life? That's how you crack the code to an exceptional decade of the 30s. All right, y'all, I'm just gonna finish up here, then I'll show you the final look. All right, y'all, this is the final look. Cheers to you and making that transition from the 20s to the 30s. May it be beautiful.